myself together here. Okay. Let's see what we got. Technology is working like it's supposed to. Put my hair back. There we go. Get my hair back so you can see my beautiful face. Well, I don't know how beautiful it is, but I got a face anyway, right? Let's see here. Set this up. There we go. Try to look a little professional. All right, here we go. Everything's cool. Got the water. Got my technology. Make sure this thing's not gonna. Let's see if this is gonna work here. All right, there we go. All right, there we go. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. All right. Hey, everybody. Thank you for the patience. I had some. Hang on, this is not working. Okay, there we go. All right. Sorry about that. Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing out there? How you guys doing? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are taking care of yourselves, as well as taking care of one another. My name is Andrew Murphy. I am the owner and founder of Level Up Coaching and Consulting. I'd like to welcome you to another edition of what I call bonus coaching. Okay? Every Thursday, I do express coaching. And every Sunday, I do a bonus round of coaching. So express coaching is where we take a topic and we just break it down for about, 8, 10, 12 minutes or whatever, right? And then bonus coaching is where we take the same topic, but we just go a little bit more in depth in it, okay? I do this in both Swedish and English because I live in Sweden and my Swedish friends are on me about doing it in Swedish so they can, because most of them understand English, but when you're talking about, things like this, personal development, you're talking about a serious topic, you have to kind of make sure that you're, some of the words you use and everything else like that, people want to make sure they understand what's going on, especially if it's something serious, right? So everybody feels comfortable in their own language. It is what it is. It's different if you're just having a conversation and you're just rapping about whatever. But when you're really having a session, a lecture, a talk, you want to make sure that everybody understands what it is that's going on. So, let's get started. Today, we are going to do the bonus coaching session of fear. Today's topic is don't be afraid, just fail. Okay? Don't be afraid, just fail. I'll say it again. Don't be afraid, just fail. It's okay to fail. A lot of people, especially, I want to say in today's climate, society, it doesn't matter if you're in America, Sweden, Brazil, Jamaica, wherever. It seems like today, it seems like failure is one of those things like everybody's trying to be perfect. Everybody's trying to portray this 100% perfectness, the square of I don't fail, I don't have any flaws, I'm not, there's nothing wrong, all of the makeup is in the right place, the clothes are right, I'm picture perfect. And it seems like we're trying to prove to each other, or maybe to ourselves actually, but that we are, the perfect version of ourselves. So that we put it out on Instagram and Facebook and everything else like that. People are trying too hard to not look like they have flaws. Everybody seems like failure is like the worst thing ever. Oh my God, if I fail, the world's gonna end, right? I don't know. That's just what I see happening today. I could be wrong. And if I am, then hey, I'm wrong. But it feels like that. So I felt compelled to just talk about that a little bit. Failure is okay. Failure is growth. Failure is necessary. Failure is that's how you build, right? So we're going to talk about it a little bit. I have a few, as you guys always know, those of you that are used to my talks by now, I always come with bullet points. For those of you that are new, by the way, welcome. So we're going to have some bullet points. Write them down, right? Write these down. So number one, it's okay to be scared. It's okay to be scared. Okay? Where did that come from? Where did that come from? I dare you to challenge you. I dare you to challenge you. Okay? let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Okay? Deal with it. Just deal with it. Right? And then we got action. You got to grow to go. Right? You got to grow to go. Okay? And then let's celebrate. After we do all of that, let's celebrate. Okay? So those are the topics. We go ahead and get started in here. So let's talk about, first of all, it's okay to be scared. Now, everybody knows it's normal to be afraid of failure. Many people, successful people, have felt this fear of failure. It's okay. It's what it is. It's like, okay, you have a goal, you have an objective, you have an idea of how you want to change your life. You are in a bad relationship, or your job situation is just not optimal. You got a bad relationship with your kids, or whatever the situation is. You realize you've come to this point in your life where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you're done with all the, just coping and dealing with it and just letting it be what it is and not trying to take that foot forward to try to change things. You're past all that. Now you're at the pinnacle point where you're like, you know what? Something has to give. Something has to change. And you have your goal in your mind. And you go, you know what? I am going to change this situation in my life for the better. And then you're laying in bed and you're thinking about it and you go, okay, this is going to happen. I'm going to do this, and this is what I want, and this is how I want to change. And you actually visualize who you are after you have gotten to that point, right? But you're like, that's who I am, and that's where I am, and this is it, and I'm ready, and I'm motivated. But you go to get out of bed, and all of a sudden, fear sets in. What does that fear set in? It's not just fear of how to do it or where the resources are going to come from or whatever else like that. It's that fear of failure. What if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work? What's my family going to say? What's my wife going to say? What's my brother and sister going to say? What's the church going to say? Because, them people down there at that church, man, they watching. And if I fail, it's like failure is like the boogeyman, like this thing that lives under your bed and waiting to snatch you. It's okay. It's normal. It's natural to have this fear of failure. You're supposed to have it a little bit. It's good. I did a video a while ago on fear being a little bit of fear is good, right? So it's natural because you're thinking, okay, if I'm afraid to fail, so now I'm thinking this thing through. If you're afraid to fail, you're thinking it through all the way because I don't want to fail. So I got to make sure that's done. I got to make sure this is right, blah, 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 blah. Without overthinking it. We'll get into overthinking in another video, but because a lot of times people overthink as well. But that failure, that fear of failing and just falling on your ass, it's normal. It's normal. It's okay. So when you start to have it, just don't let it paralyze you. Just don't let it stop you. Just don't let it, take over the objective, the goal, and then you just lay back in bed and just forget about it because you're too scared to get out of bed. Don't do that. Where did that come from? Okay? Where did that come from? So you got to understand where does it come from? What they say here, explore the underlying reasons behind the fear of failure. This could stem from past experiences, social pressure, perfectionism, self-esteem. Understanding the root cause will help you tailor your approach to addressing your fear. Blah, 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 blah. Basically, why am I afraid? I'm afraid of failing. Where did that come from? Why am I afraid of failing? Is it because I'm afraid that, what my mama gonna say, my daddy, my sister, my husband, my wife, my church, my co-workers? Where does the actual fear, that anxiety, where does it come from? And a lot of times it doesn't really come from, we say it comes from, society, right? We're afraid that, if I fail, for example, I use myself as an example. Those of you that know me, I always use myself as an example because I don't want to use other people as examples. So I wanted to start my business, Level Up Coaching and Consulting. I started my business. Now, I'm not the kind of person that's afraid to fail. because I don't really care. If I fail, it's okay. So what? I get up, brush it off, and keep it moving. But when I started the business, I really, really, really wanted to do what it is I do. I really love what I do. I really love helping people. And I really, really am passionate about trying to get people to see that it's not like that. It can actually be like this. You actually have more control over what's going on in your life than you think you do, right? I really get a kick out of it. So I start my business, and then it's like, okay, I know everybody's watching. I know people want to see me fail. I know people are laughing. I know people are, watching and not commenting. I don't care about that. I don't care about any of that. But my thing is failure. Okay, I start this business. What if it fails? What if I start this business and I'm not as good at what I do as I think I am, and I start to worry about, maybe leading someone, a client or something, down the wrong path, or just messing up, right? These are real fears. Where does that come from? Does it come from the fact that I'm worried about what people say on Instagram? Does it come from the fact that I'm worried about what, the people that want to see me fail are going to say if I fail? Does it come from the fact that I'm, like I said earlier in the beginning of this conversation, I'm worried about being perfect and putting up that image in front of everybody on social media that I'm perfect? Is that where it's coming from? That might be some of the surface reasons, but the real reason, the deep reason, if you really look at it and keep it 100% with yourself, the deep reason is that you're afraid of yourself. You're afraid, actually, that maybe it's your self-esteem, like it says here in my notes here. It could be past experiences. It could be, I tried that already and I failed then, and I know what that felt like, and I don't ever want to have that feeling again. It could be that, but a lot of times we don't have the confidence, we don't have the belief in ourselves system in place to believe in ourselves that we actually can do it, and we don't have a lot of people don't have this mechanism in themselves where they can handle fear or handle failure, right? Or fear, but failure. They go, okay, if I fail, it's the end of the world. Me personally, if I fail, that means I failed the client, whatever. You beat yourself up. You don't beat yourself up about it too much. You just, you change it and you keep it moving. But I don't have that failure thing of, oh, I'm so afraid. The mechanism I have within me is, I'm going to mess up. I'm going to make a mistake. I'm going to fail at some point on whatever level it is. I understand that. It's life. It's how it works. So I go, okay, I build my resistance, my resilience, and once I fall down, like I said, you get up, you brush yourself off, and you keep it moving. But it's important to know where it comes from, because if you know where it comes from, then you can kind of go, okay, that's because of something that happened in my childhood, or that's because of something that happened in how I feel about myself, or whatever the trigger is. You know that, so then you can handle it based on that trigger. Okay, if that makes any sense, and I hope that makes sense to somebody. All right, so let's move on here. I dare you to challenge you. Okay, when I say I dare you to challenge you, challenge yourself. I'm gonna give you guys some homework. Okay, and the homework is challenge yourself. When I say challenge yourself, challenge negative thoughts. Now, I've spoken about this in other videos, and it's something that is very important to me personally, and it's something that I work with as well, and I think it's very important that people do this. Challenge negative self-talk. I dare you. You wake up in the morning and you got an idea, or you try something new, or you want to, build or a goal or whatever. And then that fear sets in of failure. You're worried about failing. Well, what if this happens and that happens and blah, 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 blah. I dare you to challenge that negative self-talk, because that's what it is. It's negative self-talk. It's you trying to talk yourself out of doing it, because whatever it is you're trying to do is outside of your comfort zone. And being outside of your comfort zone is scary. Okay? It is very scary. So that's kind of important to understand. That's why you're afraid, because your body's going, oh, this is not comfortable. Ooh, what if I don't know. Challenge it. Say, no, wait a minute. Remember when we talked about, I don't know if some of you have seen this video where I say checkout time? give those negative energies, those negative thoughts, those negative vibes, that negative self-talk, give it a checkout time. Just like when you go to the hotel and you spend a week at Sunday at 12 o'clock, it's checkout time, right? Same thing with your negative thoughts. Give it a checkout time. Challenge you. I dare you to challenge your negative thoughts. And if you are consistent with that, do it for 30 days. And this is obviously not going to be like a one quick fix and you're never going to have negative thoughts again and you're going to be a master of challenging your thought. No, no. It's just when you see it coming and when you catch yourself, you go, okay, I caught myself. Let me not think like that. And I've worked on that myself a lot where I go, oh, I'm this, nope. Challenge that thought. Why am I thinking that way? No. If I'm trying to get forward and move up, then I can't have these negative thoughts. I have to have positive thoughts. I have to have progressive thinking. Challenge it. So every day for 30 days, when you have a negative thought, challenge that negative thought and replace it, right, with the positive thought. Replace it with the thought of you actually making that goal happen. All right? Deal with it. Is that what we are? No, we are, let's keep it real. Okay? Let's keep it real. So you have goals. Let's keep it real. I've talked about goals. There is a video on Level Up Coaching and Consulting's Facebook page where we talk about goals and whose goals are they and ABC goals and everything else like that. So you can go to Level Up Coaching and Consulting's Facebook page and scroll down and you'll see the video for goals. So let's keep it real. Keep what real? The goal that you have. Let's be realistic. Okay. You have a goal. You have something in your mind that you want to do, a change that you want to make in your life, whatever it is. Make sure it's realistic. Now, I believe, or I know, I have to say it like this, and people can challenge me on it if they want, but I know in my heart, because it's happened to me. When you make a goal, when you have an objective that is connected to changing your life, connected to self-improvement or personal development, okay, when you're really trying to do something to make yourself a better person and get to the next level of, in my case, the next Andrew, the better version of Andrew, that goal is huge and that goal is scary and it should scare you, okay? It should make you scary. It should make you scared. It should make you uncomfortable. And it should be almost questionable, like, can I really achieve that? Is that realistic? Right? I'm not saying, thinking about unrealistic things. I'm talking about realistically changing your life and making yourself the better person that you want to be. That goal that you set for yourself is challenging and scary, but it should be almost unrealistic. Like, not unrealistic, it should be almost like unattainable. It should frighten you. It should definitely snatch you out of your comfort zone and understand that you're going to be out of that comfort zone for a long time. Okay? So let's keep it real. What is my goal? This is my goal. And I talked about this in another video. This is my goal. It's this big. Okay? Let's break it down into small pieces and figure out how I can attain it. For example, you go to your favorite, I used this analogy before and I'll use it again. You go to your favorite restaurant and, you go to this restaurant because they have the best steak, right? Or the best, pasta or whatever it is, right? I love pasta, for example. So you go to the restaurant, they have the greatest pasta. And when you get your plate, okay, you get your appetizer, your main course, your dessert, your drinks, whatever, right? Your breads, whatever. But when you get the main dish, okay, usually the food comes in a dish that's bigger than what's actually on the plate, right? It's this big ass plate and you have this huge portion of pasta, lobster fettuccine, for example, one of my favorites, or pasta carbonara, which is pasta with bacon sauce, one of my absolute favorites. It's a huge portion. And I know it's good because I come here all the time and it's delicious. But guess what? You can't put that whole portion of pasta or that whole giant steak in your mouth, right? You can't. It's obviously physically impossible for you to do that, right? So what do? You You twirl it around with the fork, you use the spoon, got yourself a little portion, put it in your mouth. Or if you're eating a steak, you know, my wife likes meat like I do, but she likes to get the steaks and stuff, right? So she cuts it up in pieces, right? She cuts it up in pieces and says, oh, it's so good. It melts in your mouth, blah, blah, blah. Same thing with your goals. Your goal is this big, but you can't go for the whole thing. It's piece by piece, it's step by step, it's process by process. It's trusting the process by trusting the process by trusting the process. So keeping it real means this is my goal, and I know I'm not going to reach it tomorrow. That's unrealistic. I know that this goal that I have is realistic. I can actually change my life. I can actually change the lives and impact the lives of people in a positive way by having my company. I know that I can do that. I do it. But all of the people that I want to impact, all the people I want to help, all the people whose lives I want to change, that shit doesn't happen tomorrow, right? It's a process. It takes time, right? So that's the goal. The goal is to get here. So that's what I mean by keeping it real. Now, deal with it. What we have here, deal with it. Deal with the fear and anxiety, okay, when faced by the possibility of failure. So deal with it. When you have these feelings of anxiety or fear or whatever, you know, you keep it real, okay? You understand where it's coming from, okay? You know it's okay to be scared. You already know, okay? I understand it's okay to be scared. I understand where it's coming from, this fear of failure. And I'm challenging myself to, you know, when those negative thoughts come, I try to, as much as I can, as humanly possible, challenge those negative talks and those negative self-talks and everything else. And I'm keeping it real with myself because I know the goal that I have. Now here comes the fear. I deal with it. So when I say deal with it, what does that mean? Well, here comes the negative self-talk. Here comes the anxiety of failing and maybe not making it the way I wanted to and everybody laughing at me, right? How do I deal with that? There's a lot of different ways you can deal with it, okay? Me personally, meditation, okay? Breathing exercises, and I know people think breathing is just, it's like you breathe. Yeah, but trust me, there's breathing and then there's breathing. It's a completely different situation. It's not just, you know, breathing. There's exercises and things that you can do. I'm not going to go into that. There are people, I have colleagues of mine that work with that they can, you know, help you with that. But you breathe, you calm down, and you go, okay, I'm afraid. I'm dealing with it right now. I'm afraid to go out there and talk to 6,000 people, or I'm afraid to make this presentation and fail. I'm afraid to start this hamburger company and be afraid that it's going to fail. Okay, so how do I deal with that? I breathe, I meditate, okay? I talk to myself and I calm myself down. I make sure that I'm realistic, that the fear is realistic, but fear is also false evidence appearing real. So it's just not, it's not real. It's appearing to be real. And you talk yourself down, okay? Talk yourself off the cliff, so to speak, and you relax. There's a whole bunch of different things you can actually do stuff to motivate your body physically, training, walking, talking to people about it, listening to, say, maybe a podcast or something on YouTube that talks about how to overcome this particular, fear of failure and whatever else like that. So there's a lot of different things that you can do to deal with this in real time and understand, hey, man, I can't, because if you don't deal with it, it'll paralyze you. It will paralyze you and you will be stuck, and then you'll be pissed off and mad that you didn't get to where you wanted to get to and 10 years have gone by, now you're in that situation. So deal with it. Don't put it away. Don't run away from it. Don't hide it. Don't tuck it under the other parts of your thought process, your subconscious. No, deal with it. Okay? Breathe, meditate, figure out what works to help you with that anxiety. Okay? Deal with it. Where are we at? Action. Well, I think that kind of speaks for itself. I don't think we need to go too deep into that. But action. Take action. And not just take action, but understand what action you need to take. Don't just impulsively, do something. Think it out. Write it out. Write a journal, whatever, and go, okay, this is where I'm going. This is where I want to be, right? These are some of the things I need to do to get there. I did another video where I talk about taking action, and I say, what can you do today? Whatever it is you're trying to fix, whatever goal you're trying to reach, whatever it is you're trying to get out of, whatever it is you're trying to change, whatever. What can I do today to get closer to that specific objective? Okay? Take your time, right? What can I do today? And always stay moving, always stay in action. And not taking action just for the sake of taking action, not moving just for the sake of moving, but really consciously thinking and moving towards where it is you're trying to go for that objective. Always have that objective in your mind and go, okay, I'm trying to get here. What can I do? Okay, these are the action steps that I can take. Okay, you got to grow to go. Okay, again, self-explanatory. You have to grow to go. If you want to get there, you have to grow. Now, growing is something that you have to continue to think about. And I always say, put yourself in a growth mind state. Continue and try to do your best to make sure that you are in a growth mind state, meaning you're open to the possibilities and the different things that happen around you that can help you grow and be a better person. You're open to all of these situations, these circumstances, things happening. You're open to the fact that, okay, I'm going to change and be this person instead of that person. I'm going to learn from my mistakes. I'm going to not jump the gun on this or that because I've done it before. So now I know the outcome. You grow. It's just growth, maturity. You mature into, and then when you get to that point where you're actually maturing and you're starting to grow and you're starting to allow yourself to actually become a better person without the stubbornness of letting go of bad habits and old habits, changing your mentality. You know what I mean? That's part of growth. Instead of thinking, oh, this is the way it is. It's always been this way. I'm 47 years old and it's been this way and that's just the way it is. I ain't going to change. Well, then you got a problem. And you're going to be where you are and you're never going to grow. But if you go, okay, this is how it was. What can I do to make it different? It's okay to feel this way. It's okay to be vulnerable, whatever else, right? So once you start growing, then you start going. Then you start moving up. And then you start to see the change. You start to see, holy shit, this is actually working. Like, I'm actually getting to this point. These things are happening to me, okay? Now, after you've done all that, okay, now we can celebrate, right? You know how you do the work first and then you have a beer? You know how you do the work first and then you go out and celebrate with a dinner or whatever? Celebrate. So let's celebrate. Let's celebrate. What are we celebrating? What are we celebrating? We're celebrating the fact that we understand where the fear of failure comes from. We're celebrating the fact that we know that it's okay to fail and we're dealing with it. We're taking action. Okay, we understand that we have to grow in order to continue to move forward. Okay, and what else are we doing? We're dealing with it. Yes, we're keeping it real. We have a realistic mindset regarding the goal or the objective, that we're trying to get to. So let's celebrate. Celebrate your wins. When I don't care, and I've done a video about this, count your wins. It doesn't matter how big or small or insignificant. A win is a win. Even if it's a challenge where you learned something, a situation that happened to you and you messed up and you learned from that. That is a win. Celebrate that win. Give yourself compassion. Give yourself grace. Give yourself self-love. One of the important things of self-love is forgiveness. Forgiving yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself when it goes left. What they say goes tits up. Don't be so hard on yourself if you do fail. If you do make a mistake, if it doesn't go the way you wanted to or whatever. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't be, negative self-talk. Remember, we talked about that. Don't do that. Say, okay, this failed. Let's celebrate the fact that I failed. Now you're talking crazy, Andrew. Celebrate failure? Yes, I failed. Okay, let's celebrate that. Because what did I get? What happened with the failure? I learned something from it. Oh, that? Okay, now I know. Okay, so I don't have to do that again because I did that and that happened. So that's a tool that you have now that you'll never forget. It's in you. You'll have it. So that you can celebrate that. You understand? Celebrate that. Celebrate your wins, man. And that helps you, that motivates you, that encourages you, that pushes you forward in a positive trajectory to get to where you are in your goal. This concludes the session on It's Okay, Just Fail. Okay? Don't be afraid, just fail. Okay? This is the bonus coaching session from Level Up Coaching and Consulting. I'd like to thank everybody for their time. I know that someone out there heard this and it talked to them, it spoke to them, and they got a tool or two or three out of this whole situation. Okay, so I'm grateful for that. I'm very grateful for being able to deliver this information to people that want to hear it, deliver this information to people that need to hear it, and they get something out of it. All right, if you've gotten something out of it, give me a like, a thumbs up, write a comment, or whatever else, okay? Now, this is free. I'm not charging anybody for this, but if you're interested and you this spoke to you and you really want to start maybe, going through a coaching program or whatever, then you go to go.levelupcc.sc, you fill out the paperwork there, you book a time, and we'll talk about it. All right, we'll take it from there, okay? Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you guys have a blessed, wonderful day. Take care of yourselves and take care of one another. And we will talk soon. Bye now.